Before we start this podcast, we would like to take this time to send our thoughts and prayers to those affected by Hurricane Ian. Stay strong and don't give up.
This never ends, huh?
Back to the same fucking shit as always.
Whoa, easy there. We'll figure it out.
Whatever. Just get it over with.
Hey, boss, what we looking at?
Yeah, what do we have to do today?
I want you guys to look into these cases for me.
Sure thing. Let's get to it.
Better be worth my time.
Hello all, welcome to episode 4. My name is Fernando and I'm here with
Robbie.
Marco?
Darwin.
today we're going to get into some unsolved mysteries and present some of our opinions and research on it.
Hey.
Let's go. Fourth episode, babies. How y'all feeling? How you
4
feeling?
episodes strong, bro.
Yeah.
Let's get it. We in this.
So like Nando mentioned, we are going to talk about unsolved mysteries and some very interesting stuff we like to talk about. We all have our own categories today. So you're going to hear from each and every one of us. And we would like to start off with Nando. Nando, present your topic. And let's hear it, bro.
So I got two of them that I wanted to bring up.
Yeah, let's go with the first one, bro.
The first one being the question is did giants ever really roam the earth?
Okay.
I'm right
And you're right. You're a giant. But there's a lot of like evidence that proves that this was true, and it's more of a fact than a myth. It's obviously something that involves religion too, because it has something to do with the giants who used to roam the earth and commit sins, and it got out of hand where they all just got wiped out. That's where they introduced
Sheesh, I didn't
Noah's
even
Ark.
know that.
Yeah, they introduced Noah's Ark and the flooding, and they along died with everyone else.
Wow.
Like in the
But-
drowning?
Yeah,
Like in
like
that?
yeah, it was like they were like
The
a
flood?
big part of it because it
Yeah,
was
the
just
flood, yeah.
like out of hand. Like they were like fucking these angels and like these humans, and
So they were
but
just out there fucking
just
mixing it up,
Okay.
they were just like being crazy. They were just
Getting
creating
crazy.
living
this
their best
damage
life.
that was gonna be unreversible. Basically.
Yeah.
But presenting more historical facts, like there's been like a lot of bones that have been discovered from a lot of archaeologists that were dug around the earth, like different parts of the earth, and like these giant skulls and bones, and like obviously like they don't come from normal humans or even like dinosaurs. Like these were like
Yeah.
human bones,
Like caveman, what is it called? Primitive.
like
Bones and shit.
prehistoric. shit,
Prehistoric, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's
Like-
these even areas where like they could have lived, like there's these like huge like undiscovered manholes or whatever that have like a little economy and a whole new like ecosystem in them, and
Oh shit.
that's where they could have possibly lived at. So there's a lot of facts and shit. For the most part, it's true, but obviously there's still some myth to it. Like can't
People
imagine
always gotta exaggerate, or people always have to
doubt
incorporate
something.
their own
Yeah.
belief and try to spread it and be like, oh no, I was this way.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
see.
I think I've heard that before too about the giant.
Yeah.
Like a lot of like that's why like they say like that's why there's a lot of rivers formed the way they are and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah, I
that-
mean, there's a lot of little
yeah.
things that can help support the theory.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
seen that in the Grand Canyon. There's like conspiracy theories, or there was like one time they had discovered that there was like in the Grand Canyon there was like a spot, like a cave or something, where there was like a bunch of artifacts of like past civilization, and it was just it was undiscovered, but supposedly now that's why that people are not allowed to go certain parts of the Grand Canyon, because they don't want people tampering with that type of like
like the artifacts.
yeah, the artifacts. So I'm pretty sure the Grand Canyon could be a spot too where giants used to roam, because it's a fucking that's nothing to them, bro. They're giants. Like they can literally just go down there. That's like them jumping down
Yeah.
something small.
I mean, in the biblical sense, like he was talking about, I mean, they have David and Goliath, they wouldn't have just wrote a story about some like really tall dude against some little kid, because they over exaggerated it. Then like they had like specific things for Goliath to have and stuff like that. And honestly, I'd believe that the Giants were real, and they probably still are to this day. We just haven't, how are they supposed to blend in with us without us like making a big scene about it?
Yeah.
And then plus, I mean, I guess that goes hand in hand with like Bigfoot and too, like, because that's a big guy right there. Who knows who Bigfoot is? It could be a Sasquatch, it could be an actual person. A homie's like close to like 7-8 feet, I think they were saying. But anything that's higher than 7 feet, that's already considered pretty tall. Darwin. No, I'm just kidding.
I hate you.
I think that
what is considered like what, like, you know how they say like there's different
it's over
types
8 feet though. Giant
Is
is
it over
over
8
8 feet.
feet?
Yeah,
It's
giants are
over
over
8
8 feet. I was looking it up too because Nando had brought it up earlier, and I was like, oh, that's actually pretty interesting. And I looked it up. In order to be considered a giant, you have to be over 8 feet. And I also have seen that there's like places in like Greenland and Iceland where there's actual like guys that are built like that tall. That's why they say that that's where like I guess a lot of giants originate from like Iceland and Greenland because it's just a bunch of land and them like space to grow.
Yeah, I mean, isn't it considered they considered it a condition too?
Yeah, yeah.
Giantism, which I think that's kind of fucked up. They're just exactly like us, but it's considered a condition where you have excessive growth and excessive height above average.
Yeah.
Which I mean, that's cool and all, but I mean, I don't think it should be considered a condition. People are just built different.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys ever seen like Jerry Springer. I think there was like a
Oh yeah, Jerry.
like there was like a
Jerry.
there was like I think it was a 75-pound baby. He was like a
Damn.
year.
Oh
But
my
it's
god.
because it's because he had like he had a
Shaq,
condition. He had a condition that he was like basically like, I don't want to say overgrown, but is that the name of the condition or whatever it's called?
It's just called giantism.
Giantism. They also have like dwarfism and stuff like that. We
That's
learned
true.
about that in
and
high school.
Darwinism too.
Darwinism.
Darwinism. Oh yeah.
Bobbyism,
Darwin.
Marcoism. No.
This guy's name is Darwin. Darwinism.
But yeah, and then like he had him on the show like 20 years later, and he was like normal though.
Yeah, that's a big baby though.
Yeah, I think he was like 75 or some shit like that. But he was a big baby. The mom like he was like one. He had to make like her own diapers.
Damn.
Yeah, imagine being that big, getting pushed out of a young little old lady, bro. Oh,
no, I think he was born. I think he was born normal, but then like as he like developed, he grew bigger and bigger.
He probably just had a fast growth spurt then.
I don't know if you guys noticing like now kids are becoming like way bigger for their age.
Nah,
they got shorter. I think they got shorter, bro.
Way smaller, bro.
No, I feel like they got taller. There's some kids that are already like
just because they're passing your height doesn't mean anything.
Back then, high schoolers look like young adults.
Like grown ass men.
Now they look like fucking little kids, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Bro, look at all the college students, bro. They look all
bro.
like babies, bro. All the freshmen look like they're fresh out of middle school, bro. Not even high school,
bro.
Bro, my sister's high school, I think the average kid over there is like 6'2" and 6'3". Or her high school that she used to go to. That's pretty tall, bro.
That is pretty tall.
I don't know, bro.
I usually see them shorter, bro. They look
really short, fucking baby face, fucking little kids.
But what about you, Nando? What's your opinion on the whole giant thing?
Well, like I was saying, like I think it's real for sure, but obviously we never know because we're not alive during that time, and we don't really know what the facts are,
Yeah.
I mean, we know what they are, but we can't prove them.
The thing is, like, they used to be built so strong too. Like, they used to fucking have to fight big things too, like fucking their prey before, or the predators that used to try to fight with them were like way bigger. Now there's a lot of like tall people that are like all fucking, their bones and shit. Their bones and shit like can't handle them being so tall.
I feel like they were on some Attack on Titan shit, just attacking.
Yeah, they were built different, bro.
Literally
built different, bro. Now it's like there's a lot of tall like people, and it just their body can't handle being so tall. Like I think that's why what was it? Giantism?
Yeah,
What did you say it was called?
yeah.
That's like the condition they have. Like their bones are so frail from being so tall.
Yeah, because I mean, even when I went to Ripley's, believe it or not, I think the tallest man stands up to like I forgot what's his height, but they have his thing there, and they have like an animatronic of him, and when he stands up, motherfucker's tall. I don't think I have a picture with him no more. Let me see, but I don't know. Have you guys heard about that guy or no?
Nah.
Nah, bro.
Have you guys
Yeah,
been to
Yao
Ripley's, believe
Ming?
it or not? You guys should
What is
go. It's
that?
pretty
Wait, what is that?
Ripley's, believe it or not, it's like the Guinness World Records holders, but
Oh, the
it's
Guinness
this,
World Record?
yeah,
The
the
Guinness
tallest.
World Record?
Yes, sir.
The Guinness?
His name is Alton Giants, or at least, yeah. So when they have him sitting down, it's like the first attraction when you go into Ripley's, believe it or not, and he stands up to 8 feet 11.
Oh my God, bro.
Yeah, 8 feet 11, and so like when you go into the museum, that's the first thing you greeted by. But he's sitting on a chair, and like when you get next to it, there's a sensor, and it like he holds himself up with a cane, and then you pretty much see the height difference.
Oh
And
my
yeah,
God,
bro, that
that's
guy is
fucking
like
big.
mad crazy. And you can tell by his hands because it's like an exact replica of him. So like his hands were very big and stuff like that. But also the reason he had the cane was because it helped him get up and stuff like that, because like we were mentioning, like it's kind of frail to them. And that's like crazy to me. Like they're so fragile, but yet they're so tall.
Yeah, it's so fragile,
Bro,
bro.
you could probably take them out with like one punch, bro.
Yeah, they be you know what they say,
One
like the
Punch Man,
bigger
huh?
you are, the harder you fall and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I fall, bro, that should be hurting.
Yeah,
Damn.
bro. I'd be feeling the earthquake down here. No, I was kidding.
Yeah.
I'd be like, fuck, there goes Darwin again. No, I was kidding. Yeah. But yeah, if you guys haven't been to Ripley's, believe it or not, it's pretty good. It's pretty pricey. They have it in Hollywood. I would recommend it. It's a nice little experience, but definitely
Mhm.
get the little package that comes with it. Like I think it's the Ripley's, believe it or not, and the Wax Museum just to get your money's worth.
You gonna pay for me or what?
Sure, I'll pay for all y'all.
I'm about to say.
I'll pay with all y'all.
He
Damn.
said I'm about to say.
I'm about to splurge, baby. Hey. But if you guys don't have nothing else to say about giantism or like any of the Giants, San Francisco
Well,
Giants. No, I was kidding.
San Francisco.
weak ass team.
Hey.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, little Doyers.
Bro. It's Dodger season, bro.
Los Doyers all the way.
World Series bound.
But
But
then
the second one,
yeah,
the
go
second
ahead,
one that I
man.
was gonna bring up was just a really quick one. It was a flight. I think a couple people are familiar with it. It's the Malaysian Airlines 370 flight. So basically, it's just a flight that occurred on March 8th, 2014, and it had around 230 passengers on it. And out of nowhere, like in the middle of a flight, it went missing. Like no one knows what happened to it. Like nothing. Like there's nothing that's found besides some airplane parts that came up on an island 1 year later, but that was it. They never found anyone on the plane, and they never find out like what the pilot did, like what happened. Like no one knows if it was a hijacking, if the pilot tried to commit suicide. No one knows. It's just
Shit.
like how the fuck does that happen? Like a big ass airplane, because because the 370s is they're big airplanes, and they can hold a lot of people, like it's as the amount that I mentioned, like 230. Like how does that just happen? Like no communication between the passengers to their family members, nothing.
That's scary.
It's just complete disappearance.
Do you know
Like
what
imagine you were on that flight, right?
No, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Imagine the people's family members who have to deal with this. Like, bro, they could be alive, they could be dead, they could be like, being held hostage somewhere else.
Yeah, bro,
What if
the
they got
the endless
sold?
possibilities, bro.
Yeah, it's just
Do you know if it went past like what the where they were heading?
I think they were going
Malaysia.
from. I think they were going from
Beijing. It says
From
it's planned
Kuala
destination.
to Beijing. Yeah, Kuala Lumpur to Beijing.
So that's not passing the Bermuda Triangle, is it?
I did hear something about that too. They were trying to say
Oh,
that was like a big thing that they're warning. I think the pilot, like, oh, like don't go through there because of the Bermuda Triangle.
uh-huh.
Or I
No
don't know if
way.
I don't know if it's
Wait,
the same
no,
incident though.
I think
I actually didn't know that.
isn't
That's actually a
the
crazy
Bermuda
theory.
Triangle's in the like in the Caribbean, isn't it? The
Something
Caribbean?
like that. Let me see.
Bermuda
Because
Triangle.
this is more like
Well,
Asia.
well, they went over the Indian Ocean, coast of Australia, and Central Asia. Who
I don't think
knows?
that's
It,
what.
it probably didn't go through the Bermuda Triangle, but honestly, speaking about the Bermuda Triangle, I think it goes hand in hand because they've always told boats not to go through it, airplanes not to go through.
Yeah.
Like I would understand a boat, but an airplane, bro, that's mad crazy. You're up in the sky, and then next thing you know, that's crazy. What do you guys think about the Bermuda Triangle? Honestly, I think it's interesting, but it's also like a scary thing, Like there's like a gravitational pull right there, like it's a whirlpool. And then in
Yeah.
order for
It's like magnetic, isn't it? Like something
yeah,
magnetic.
and then in order for them to find something like that, somebody had to go through it and be like, well, there's a little triangle right there that you can't go through. you know, like somebody
Like
had to
a
experience
that's like
it.
a big space too. Like
God,
it's a big space.
that's a big shape too.
Yeah.
I
Like to
think
not
there's also a
find
history of it
bodies,
too.
or I don't know.
There's like plenty of history written on it too before before it was like a big thing. There's like history like um what could I say? Like documents, I guess, that also explain the wonders of like the Bermuda Triangle, how a lot of people would get lost or would get like confused or whatever because of the way, how do I explain it? Or help me out.
Well, supposedly it's considered an urban legend,
hmm
Mm.
but I mean, based off like stories that we've told. Because honestly, you think Bermuda Triangle, you automatically think
Amelia
negative.
Earhart. Oh.
Yeah,
So,
you think
it
negative
said.
about it.
So it said it flew over a patch of ocean that's on the exact opposite part of the globe from Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, you see, it was something with
So
it. I
on the
was trying to
other end,
remember. Basically on the opposite ends of
the
it.
exact coordination.
You
Yeah,
guys get what he's
perfectly on
saying
the
or not?
opposite end.
Yeah.
Like like right on the dot.
Yeah, it was something, but I do remember seeing something like that because I seen a bunch of theories on it too. Because we learned about it in class, like in high school as well.
But it's also crazy because they call the Bermuda Triangle the Devil's Triangle too.
hmm
So I don't know. I think it's like an interesting topic, especially about that flight. That flight's pretty interesting too because one day that's it. It's gone, bro. Like how you go
Yeah.
to one destination,
Yeah,
next
bro. Like
you never
I
made
think
it.
that they
how the fuck
I
did that
think that
disappear,
they
bro?
I think that they found the wing or something in France, like on the beach.
Like washed up ocean.
Yeah, like a beach
Yeah,
that a
that-
lot of people go to, like not a what is it called? Like a tourist beach, not one of those, like just a random beach. I think.
Just a little island then.
Yeah, off like the coast of France or something.
Yeah.
I remember also seeing that they had kind of gave up the search, but there was like family members who were so desperate and still looking for answers, and I think they're the ones that found it, or someone who was still looking for answers found it, and then they informed like the police and stuff.
Yeah, bro. I mean, not only like the Malaysian flight, but like you guys remember when Jenny Rivera passed away and they were saying, damn, we couldn't find the airplane and shit like that. And eventually they found
They
it.
found it, yeah.
But they were like, we can't confirm it's her, but we think it's her.
Yeah.
That's crazy too.
It was a sad day.
Oh, I forgot about her, bro.
Yeah,
R.I.P.
bro.
Jenny.
R.I.P. Jenny. Same with Kobe, bro. But R.I.P. Kobe, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, bro, these pink catches are
Kobe
scary,
and his
bro.
family.
Yeah.
Is that where the show Manifest came from? From this?
I think it did have some influence to it because there's like parts where they washed up a wing. I think they also showed it on the second I forgot what season it is. I think it's the second season.
I never finished it. I got annoyed of it.
I watched the first season. I tried to watch the second one, but then I kind of watched the first episode. I was like, nah, that at this point they're just
trying to milk content.
yeah, they're milking it, and it
I
was
just got
kind of
annoyed
repetitive.
because that dude, yeah, it was so repetitive, bro. How many seasons they got? Like 4 now?
I don't even know. I stopped watching it after the first one was good though. I fucked with it. And then I got to the second one and I was like, yeah, no. I'll give it a try though eventually.
Nah, just keep your.
But what about you guys?
Get away from that.
Like what's your mysterious?
Oh, you want to? All right. Let's tie into mine. Speaking about the Giants, I'm not a
Hey.
Giants fan, but shout out to San Francisco because that's where we're heading next, baby. So,
No, let's turn back.
yeah, turn the boat back.
Those Dyers.
You're gonna go to San Francisco instead of LA? That's fucked up.
It's closer, bro. 2 hours away. But me personally, this is one of my favorite topics to talk about. I've always thought it was interesting. I've always been like a little history buff about this specifically. I've always liked things about war. I pretty much got the influence from my dad. So, you know,
World
like
War
I love war movies, you know, 1942, Dunkirk, Pearl Harbor, you know, those are all really all good
Black
movies.
Hawk Down.
Hey,
Black
and
Hawk Down.
Black Hawk Down is a good movie too, bro.
Saving Private Mark on that.
Said Black
But
what?
Saving Private Robbie.
Black what?
Saving.
This
But,
man.
Black what?
So I wanna talk about Alcatraz. So if you
Yeah.
guys don't know what Alcatraz is, which I'm pretty sure
Rebirth,
most of you guys
Warzone.
know. Yeah, bro, the
The
Rebirth.
zombies map.
So it's on my bucket list has always been I'm gonna go to Alcatraz one day. And I got an opportunity to go with my school. I only paid $25 for a ticket, and it was a night tour. So I was excited as hell. So I actually went to Alcatraz. It's very nice. If I have any pictures, I'll send them so you guys can see them. If I find them, I don't know where I left those pictures because they're on an old phone. But very nice prison. If you guys know, very famous for holding inmates that are very infamous, like Al Capone. So you know, Al Capone was the homie back in the days. No, but Alcatraz is very interesting to me for the simple fact that they said it was called the Rock because it was in the middle of nowhere, very very hard to escape. But let me give you a brief rundown on how it looks if you guys haven't been. If you guys played Rebirth, I can definitely give you I can show you everything on through there too. But when you first get into the island, you have to go through a cruise ship, and just going to the island itself, it's very the currents there automatically are just terrible. So like when you're going on the boat, you definitely get motion sickness, but the boat, you know, you can feel it swaying up and down. So it does feel weird. It was my first time being on a boat too. So it did feel very nasty for me. But once you get there, you hop off and they're like, all right, we're going to start from the bottom. You got to make your way to the top to the prison. So you start all the way to the bottom. The bottom is just a bunch of like housing. So like if somebody was like there, or if they had some of the guards, they would live there too. So they had like guard housing and then inmate visitation housing as well. But they actually had like really decent housing for them. So you start from the bottom, you go to the top, you start walking, and it's a lot of curves because the whole purpose of that layout was to make it tiring for the people to, like, if they were to escape, it'd be very tiring. You know, it's not going to be like a hop and skip away and I'm out of here. So that's why it was considered one of the hardest places to get out of. That's why they called it the Rock too. So once you make it to the top, yes, sir. Once you get to the top, right, you get into the prison and they start you off in the showers. So the showers,
Okay.
they start you off in the showers, and it's an audio tour. It's a self audio tour. They give you the headphones and like a little Walkman, and you pretty
You're
much
just like taking a shower, like
drop
the soap, boy. Drop the soap.
No, but what's
Drop the
crazy?
soap.
What's crazy when you're listening to the audio while you're walking around, they have like little background noises going in the back. So it's like, let's say if you were in like the shower, you would hear like the showers running while the people were talking, and then you would hear like little scenarios and stuff like that. So then let's say if you go to the kitchen, you'll hear like people cooking and a lot of chatter and all that stuff. You go so you go through the prison, you start walking through the prison. So you start walking through the prison, right? You're going through the tour. And there's 2 different sections. There's like 4 different blocks, I believe. And one of the first blocks is hidden, and it's like solitary confinement. So when you're first new to Alcatraz, they'll throw you into solitary confinement for like, I want to say a 30 to 90-day period. I don't remember what it was, but it was a 30-day period, and they'll just lock you in a room. And it was like dark.
Like when you're a new prisoner?
Yeah.
New tourist. They just
New
moved there.
tourist.
I'm like a new tourist.
Nah, that's fine.
So they would throw you in there for a 30-day period because these are like very, very bad criminals, So they'll throw you there for like 30 to 90 days. Don't quote me on it, but they'll put you in there for a bit so you can get used to it, and then you would have to attend roll call at certain specific times and stuff like that. But they're like very strict. They're like, you can't do this, you can't have this in your thing. They were only able to have one item, I believe, of their choosing. So like if I'm not mistaken, I want to say Al Capone either had books with him or he liked to paint. I know there was another inmate that liked to like have a musical instrument, so that's why they sell harmonicas there, which I have a harmonica from there because I thought it was pretty cool. So as you're walking through it, you'll see like the three inmates that escaped. You can see their little rooms, and I'll tell you how it's done because during the audio you can hear everything. So these guys took rigorous planning. So the mystery is that these guys made it off the island, but nobody is for sure. They escaped, but they weren't sure if they made it off the island. So to dig further deeper into this, the way they did it, so it was 3 of them. And these guys, they would go along their day and just randomly hide specific things so they can help them like get out. So the 3 people were it was John and Clarence and Frank Morris. So one had a barber job. So what he would do is he would collect all the scrappings from from each haircut he would give people. One worked in like stitching fabrics and stuff like that. So he would take raincoat pieces, and the other one worked in the kitchen. So he used to grab spoons. Like their spoons are like very like, I guess, inmate proof because they didn't want to make them making shanks and stuff like that. So they used.
Do you know why they were in there?
No, I do not. I just know that they were infamous for like, bank robberies, burglaries, and like just repeated attempts of it, like, of just doing the same thing over and over again. So they pretty much won their places there because they were just up there.
Bro.
Yeah.
And playing the harmonica.
This man.
So yeah, they use the spoons to dig holes in the little vents, and these little vents were like really small. You can see the vents there if you ever go. So they use the little spoons to dig out the little thing, but those spoons are so bad that they had to keep on using them. So think about it this way: the way the prison cells were made, there's like a middle way to input the prisoners through the back instead of the front too. It is also a way for them to like walk through to see both ends of each jail cell of each block. So they escaped through the middle portion of in between the cells because it was just like piping and stuff like that. So they carved through the wall with the spoons. They used the hair and the remaining they used the hair and the remaining scrap pieces from the clothing that the guy was getting, and they made paper mache dolls, and they put the hair on it to make it seem like they were sleeping in bed. And they still have the dolls there. So they used that, and once they made it, they had made a boat out of raincoats. So supposedly they made it throughout the whole prison. So this prison is like locked down to the key. Like you go there and they're like, this is how the guards were posted. So they had a guard at like almost every post. There was a top layer guard and there was a bottom layer guard. Top layer guard, there was it's all gated, but through the gate there was like a hook that was hanging out where they would leave the prisoner keys for some reason. I don't remember why they would leave the keys there, but they would just leave it there to make it difficult for anybody to grab them. So these people were able to escape. And during that time, there was a lot of fighting, a lot of rioting because everybody was making a big whoop about it. So like if you go, you'll see like blood splatter and stuff like that on the walls. And like it was crazy because I was like just chilling, listening to the audio, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you look behind you, there's a wall with blood splatter." And I look back, and there was a wall with blood splatter. So that was cool. So these guys got to the bottom, got on their boat, and they were trying to make it to the other island to meet up with whoever was going to take them out of the States. So the mystery here is, did they really escape? See, now people are saying that it's kind of hard to escape from Alcatraz, but as you can tell, these guys were able to advise a plan in order to make it through. But the part that trips me out is like the water portion. So San Francisco waters are infested with sharks during a certain time. San Francisco does get very cold, and also the body temperature for like that type of coldness was very hard to get through. So what they used to do to prevent people from getting off the island, they actually were allowed to take hot showers because if they were to escape, hypothermia would hit them because of the change of temperature. So I don't know. I feel like they said that supposedly they did make it off the island and there's picture proof and like there's 100% match, but also all they found was like remaining pieces and things that they took with them off the island. But it was at that island that they said they were going to meet at. So they're still not sure if they made it off the island or not. But to me, I feel like they probably didn't. That's just my opinion. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
They got eaten, bro.
The guy.
I don't know,
mean,
because
if you feel the swaying from the boat that's like, well built, and you said they made it out of like rain jackets, like a boat.
Yeah, raincoats,
Yeah,
bro.
they're for sure. Like, I don't think a rain jacket it has better material than what, the boats they have now, or like the boats that they have that are. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. It's just I don't think it'd be logical.
Yeah, and honestly, like with it being shark infested, sharks are not gonna get irritated unless if something's irritating them. Like sharks are, if you don't bother them, they won't bother you type deal.
Yeah, and then the currents and shit. I'm pretty sure that shit was like very aggressive, just swaying them around and shit.
And there was never proof of the boat, or they did have it?
No, they never really found proof of the boat. I would just assume like the material of like the rain jackets just didn't withhold and it like kind of deteriorated.
They just put the rain jackets on after? No.
And they just swam away.
You said there was proof though about like that they made it out.
Yeah, so they have a photo of the two guys that made it out. So they said two guys made it out, but the third one, they don't know what happened to the third one. So the photo shows a picture of them. I forgot where they were at, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna escape. They were either in Cuba or some shit like that. You know how people are like, hey, Tupac's in Cuba. Tupac's out there in Cuba, bro. But yeah, they said that there's picture evidence and they're like, oh yeah, it's a 99% match. But
shit.
But
it could have been an inside job too, and they could have just tried to use that as like cover and shit.
Yeah, bro.
Some type of inside job.
And then ever since they had that attempt, they're like, nah, this is not a good prison to. It's not gonna withhold people. Yeah, but it's very locked down, like that, like to the T, bro. Like it's crazy. Like if you guys have a chance, visit Alcatraz. It's very crazy. I personally like it, and I will go again one day. Yeah, so Alcatraz is just locked down to the toe. And it's crazy because it's like they had everything on a routine. They would wake up at like, I believe it was like 3 a.m. in the morning. They'll do roll call. And if anybody like made a fuss or anything, there was definitely physical abuse. There's also a little story, like there's a little hallway dividing the little cell blocks through the center that they had another escapee incident that they had. So it used to be an army base before they turned it into the prison. So the army base, they still have a lot of the stuff there. So they have like cannons and stuff like that. If you're walking around the island, you're able to see like the cannons and stuff like that. And like, the HDR on top of the fucking water tower of Rebirth, but but yeah, so it's like hella lockdown. So they had a bunch of like the military like equipment. So there was this one incident where this guy was just like going ham and shit like that. And they locked him in that little division that they had between the cell blocks. And they were like, honestly, we don't know how to handle this guy. So they threw a grenade in there.
Oh my god.
They threw a grenade in there and you can see the blood splatter and you can see like the burnt marks of everything. So it was like pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure hold this guy down. Just throw a grenade in there.
Yeah, it was like a very minimal grenade because if it was a bigger grenade, it definitely would have like fucked things up. So
yeah,
very
structure of the building.
Yeah, so that's pretty interesting. They have like a little library and everything like that. So I mean, they were like treated well, but at the same time, they weren't treated well. Like they had good stuff. Like they even have a basketball court, and they had like a little baseball field too. So
What the
that's
fuck?
pretty dope. Yeah, they will have their like certain times, and they were fed pretty well too. So
Every prison has that though, like basketball courts and
yeah, but I mean, if you think about it, you would automatically think like Alcatraz is like, nah, they're hella strict and stuff like that. They're like just very strict on hours. But to me, it was interesting that they had a whole ass baseball field. Like they had like they have I forgot whose bat it is, but they have it displayed and they're like, oh, this is so and so's bat, and like when you're passing through, you can hear them playing like baseball. So that's
Yeah,
pretty
he came
dope.
to Alcatraz, play against our
Actually,
team.
you guys want to know where it's at? It's at the
the,
buy station next to like, so if you're thinking
the buy
Rebirth,
station.
it's that little open courtyard that they have right there, where the zip line is, where everybody likes to camp, where the water tower is. That little portion is the little baseball field with the
Mm.
little basketball court. So that's pretty cool too. But
That's
What were
yeah,
they?
fire.
The Alcatraz Rockies or what?
the Alcatraz
Alcatraz
Rock.
Rock.
Yeah, they used to play hardball, bro. I actually have I have a jersey, a baseball jersey from Alcatraz that says Alcatraz it says prison inmate on the back, I think, or property of Alcatraz, some shit like that. It's pretty dope. But yeah, that's my mystery out of, so it's just if these guys actually escaped or not.
Nice.
Yeah. So I would like to pass the torch to the next person.
So my topic I want to do is I want to talk about aliens. I want to talk about alien encounters, Men in Black, and alien abductions. So to start off, I want to talk about alien encounters. Like UFOs. UFOs in history have been like a very big thing, and there's been a lot of like UFOs in the backgrounds of paintings. Have you guys ever seen like in history? I think we talked like there was a painting we we like studied, and I think it was in the 15th century, and there was like a little like spot in the corner of the painting. It was like a what's it called, a
It was like a
portrait.
landscaping.
Yeah, it was a landscape, and there was a portrait of a woman, and in the corner you just see like a little like disc, and people were like just saying like, oh, it could have just been like a blemish or something. But if you look closely, like there's like a cliff like on the side of it, and there's like an individual just looking up at it. So I want to say like we've always had like, UFOs throughout history, and I feel like right now, like, I don't know if you guys seen on TikTok, there's been a lot of UFO sightings recently, like plenty of UFO sightings, and I want to say alien sightings too, because I've seen some, but you know how some of them look like straight up fake, or people just try to make shit for clout.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about that one. I actually heard that on the Joe Rogan podcast. There was also another one I saw on there where they focused on, it was like a religious painting where they're like crucifying Christ, right? And in the painting, I'm gonna pull it up and I'm gonna send it so that way when people are watching it on YouTube, it'll just appear. The same way we had the Nacho Libre skit where your
Yeah.
face came out. So for the religious one, there was like Christ was being crucified, and in the sky you see like two I guess aircrafts or some type of machinery, and there's like two individuals, like, or two things in them, like I don't know if it's like a human, or because some people wanted to say that was like those were angels, and that's what angels, like people perceived angels as, like they were watching us from above. But other people are saying like one of them does look like it's like an angel or of some sort, but the other one looks like a straight up fucking like a helicopter or something. It just looks like some type of aircraft. And to
Yeah.
me, that was just so crazy because like back then, like there was like the only thing we have is like history is paintings, you know. All right. So for the UFO sightings, I've also had, like, my mom had an experience actually in Mexico where she was younger and she was with my dad, and they were like walking through the fields, and she said that out of nowhere like a big ass fucking beam like came down at them, and like she looked up and she was like, what the fuck, like what is that? And she said that it was just like I guess illuminating them for like 5 minutes, and then my mom got scared and they like jumped onto some bushes, and that the the beam just kept like looking around for them. And you know how in Mexico there's like no type of like aircraft out there like in the
Yeah.
fields because it's like nothing, there's no fucking airport or nothing like right by there. It was like in her fucking rancho, you know. And she was like scared, dude. Like she was scared as fuck. She doesn't like telling me the story because like I guess it just gives her some type of like trauma. But when she first saw that, like when she jumped into the bushes, her and my dad hid for like a cool hour. That's how scared they were. Like they hid for a whole hour. And there was like a big beam too. Like she said that it covered like a good amount of land and it was just there like looking and hovering around like for a minute. And then when it left, that's when like they waited a whole hour and they got up and they just ran back to their house. And my mom told me that story because my mom's always been scared to look up at the sky. And I noticed it one time and I just asked her, I was like, why do you get scared of looking up? And that's when she told me this whole like UFO thing. And now she's less scared, but like a UFO, like, well, aliens in general in Mexico are like a very common thing.
Like everything's common in Mexico, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Everything happens in Mexico.
Whatever happens in Mexico stays in Mexico. You ever seen that?
Yeah.
The Office when talking about yeah, dude, but what do you guys think about that?
So for me, I personally do like the universe is a very big place, and I've always talked about to like this to people. I necessarily wouldn't say aliens because I feel like a lot of people are just like, oh, something from outer space, it's an alien.
Mhm.
I wouldn't necessarily call it an alien. I believe there is stuff out there, but I wouldn't consider it an alien, because we don't know what they are. We just
What would you
identify them.
consider it though?
Just another creature, honestly. Because if you
Foreign
think about
creatures.
it, we're just I wouldn't say foreign creatures. They're just
Foreign-
creatures,
Hey,
bro.
yo.
Well, that's what an alien is. Like,
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's-
of course.
Yeah, it is
That's
an
the
alien,
term
bro.
for it. It's like
No,
'cause
I
Yeah.
know,
it's
but
from
like
here.
I don't
It's
know.
the
I
official
just
term,
me
bro.
me personally,
Yeah.
I just like to think there's like something out there. I wouldn't say aliens, perhaps. Yeah.
That's the name
Perchance.
they gave it though. I'm just saying, like I used alien because like
No, I
that's
know,
the
but
name they gave
but
it.
I'm just telling you what I believe. That I just think there is stuff out there.
Yeah. So
I-
you
Extraterrestrial.
I would say there's stuff out there, especially because with all this universe, like bro, half of the universe is not even explored. Like a good chunk of it, bro. We only even have like 15% of it. So
Yeah,
me
bro,
personally,
this-
I think there's a lot of stuff.
yeah.
I would say yes.
Have you guys seen the movie Nope?
Nope.
Nope.
Nah, but
Why not?
I heard it was
Why,
good though.
bro, it's a good movie.
Yeah, I heard it was good too. I haven't
It's
watched
a
it
good movie. Go
myself.
watch it.
You want to give like a little what's it called? The
A
Breakdown.
description?
A little
synopsis of
synopsis?
it? Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
synopsis of it.
synopsis. There you go.
Synopsis.
Basically, it's about a family who lives like in a ranch,
Mhm.
and it's because it's a little bit more like there's more to it because they include a lot of like animal behaviors and stuff
Mhm.
about. I don't really remember it too well, but basically, it's about a family who lives in a ranch, and then things start to fall from the sky. But whatever is falling from the sky are like coins and like little things that basically people have like in, I guess you could say, in their pockets.
Mhm.
But like because there's an actual like there's a UFO, but the UFO is actually the alien. Like, you know what I mean? Like the alien is the UFO. It's not like the ship is carrying
Yes.
like aliens in it. But
The
it's
life form
ship.
is the craft.
Yeah, it's the ship itself. But
Mm.
like Jordan Peele movies, they have like more to it and stuff.
Yeah, way
Yeah.
more
Yeah,
like stuff
but
to
I'm
it.
gonna give you like a quick one.
Symbolism.
So basically, the people in the ranch, they have like a horse ranch, right?
Mhm.
And it's a lot about animals and animal behavior in it. And basically the like how I told you guys, the coins are like they fall from the sky, but like with like pressure, because I think in the movie they explain it that there's been like tests, like if a quarter were to fall off or like a penny were to fall off like the Empire State Building, it wouldn't kill nobody.
Mhm.
But in that movie, like coins are falling from the sky and it kills their dad basically.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so that's what happens. And then you guys know Glenn from The Walking Dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. He comes out in the movie, but he's kind of like he's like kind of traumatized of stuff because he supposedly he was like in a show with like a monkey who killed like everybody on the set except him.
Oh shit.
So that's what it also has to play with, like animal behavior and stuff. So then after, like, he owns like I think it's a circus or like an amusement park or something like that,
Mhm.
that has to do with like something like that, and he uses the attraction because the family starts to realize that there's like a cloud in the sky that doesn't move.
Oh shit! It's
Yeah,
just
there's
a
always
cloud in the sky.
there's a cloud in the sky that always moves. That doesn't move. Sorry, that
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't move at all. So they start realizing because they start recording and everything, all the clouds are moving except that one.
Except that one. Oh,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
except that one. So what the dude is doing, I forgot his name. Oh, his name is OJ.
Mhm.
That's the main character.
Simpsons.
Yeah. But him and his sister, which is like Kiki Palmer,
Hey.
they're like horse people. They do like their ranch is for like they're like performing horses. They use the horses for like movies and shit like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to get money from that, but they're slowly also selling all the horses that they have, right? So the guy, I'm gonna call him Glenn. Glenn has that thing where he buys their horses and shit. But the reason he's buying them is because he's actually feeding that alien.
Oh
No,
shit!
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
Is it to keep him
spoiler.
safe then?
he thinks he has a relationship with him, but he doesn't, because then he has like a show basically saying like that he's gonna bring the alien to eat the horse, but in reality the alien sucks up everybody, including him, the horse, all the people that were there visiting, and it just starts eating everybody.
So the
And
ship, right?
the ship, yeah,
Okay.
basically the ship. So then that ship is getting like the people, the family, the brother and sister, they're actually like kind of like not antagonizing it, but like they're kind of messing with it because they want to know what the hell is going on, you get me?
Yeah.
So what the thing does is like it goes over their house and it spits out like all the blood and shit and coins over their house, and then they get like a videographer basically to film everything that's going on, and they basically catch it all on tape, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's basically it. They catch it, they do it, and then it's more to it, but it's like basically that ship is like you never know, you get me? Like you never know
Yeah,
what
because we
technology
don't
or shit that they have. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, you guys
or
should
what
watch
they
it.
are.
Wait. So
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
That's how it ends? Just like they
It
recorded it?
ends with so they're trying to capture it or kill it or some shit, and but they're also trying to get proof from it.
Mhm.
So there's a whale inside inside Glenn's like things that takes a picture like if you're looking down like at a whale.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So Kiki's able to like take a picture like that because it transforms later like to some weird parachute looking shit, and that shit ends up eating like a balloon, and the balloon blows up like inside of it because it eats it, and it basically it all the I think it has like helium or some shit, but it basically blows up the alien
Oh
or the
shit!
Okay.
UFO.
That's
Yeah, and
crazy.
that's how it ends.
Pretty bizarre ending. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool. It's clever.
you
Spoiler
guys should
for everyone
watch it.
who's
It's a good
hearing
ass
this.
movie.
Yeah, it's a
It's a good ass
spoiler,
movie.
but
So you
still,
just told me
I
the whole
mean, you could
movie.
just put in the thing like if you haven't seen Nope or you don't mind getting spoiled by it,
Boy gave us a
continue this.
plot.
Hey, we asked for it though. We asked for it.
Yeah,
That's a good.
that was a good one. Not an
Yeah, that sounds like a
analogy.
pretty good movie. I'll still watch it just because he left. He could have said all this, but we don't know what it visually looks like.
Yeah.
He was
But
there,
Pretty
bro.
interesting.
I mean, this brings me to another part of like aliens. Like whenever we see like a UFO or something that's extraterrestrial, you know how the Men in Black always like try to show up at your door to tell you to get rid of it or try to intimidate you into getting rid of evidence.
Yeah.
So for me, like the Men in Black, like has always been so creepy because I've watched videos before of it on YouTube, and like the descriptions of them where they say like they have no type of hair, like they have a clear skin, like clear pale skin perfection, like what is it called?
Complexion?
Clear pale complexion, exactly, and they have suits, and like supposedly they're supposed to be like pretty tall as well, and they have like no emotions and they act like very robotic, like no emotions type people. And then like this case I want to talk about is it's with some guy named Shane Sover. So this happened on October 14, 2008 in Niagara Falls. Shane and a security guard for the hotel they worked at reported like a UFO outside their hotel, and like a group that like works with extraterrestrial investigation looked into it and said that like 3 weeks later, like two tall men dressed in suits like pulled up to the hotel, and this is like one of the, I guess, clearest evidence of like the men in black. But when the men showed up, they were looking for those two individuals, which were the hotel manager and the security guard. So when they came to look for them, like the receptionist was like, "Oh, like I'm sorry, like they're not here." And she said she felt weird because she's the one that like spoke to them directly, and she got, you know how like if you were to encounter something weird like that, like you'd kind of just be like, "What the fuck?" Like you can tell right off the bat, like these people are not normal, or like they're onto some weird shit.
Yeah, bro, out of the ordinary.
Yeah, so when she told them no, she said like her saying, she was saying that she felt that they knew what she was thinking, because when she was talking about stuff, like they were kind of just like, "Oh, okay," like, already like kind of like not completing her sentence, but already knew what she was gonna say. But I'll try to link the video of it. It's like a quick like 20-second video of them approaching the hotel, and you could clearly see like a hotel like I guess staff member just walks by them, but they look pretty tall compared to him. Like they look at least like fucking like fuck, I want to say like 6'6" or like 6'7" or something. They look tall. They look tall, dude. Well, what do you guys think about the Men in Black though? Have you guys ever heard any, like, have you guys ever seen anything about them?
Me
I seen
personally,
that.
no.
I remember reading that like supposedly it was like aliens themselves.
Oh yeah, that's true as well. I forgot
I
about
remember
that.
seeing that it
Like
was
them
like
trying to
aliens.
cover their tracks, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's actually pretty clever. Like yeah, I do remember that. And I also do remember like there was this random TikTok video I saw where there's like a guy like driving through like an empty fucking field, and out of nowhere like he hits like a turn, and when he hits that turn, it's like a bunch of like people in suits like crouched down in the middle of the road, and when he pulls up, they all just look at him all scared and scatter into the side of the road, and some of them like kind of look at him trying to like go towards his car, but the rest of them like follow the other group, and they just go to the side of the road. And the thing is, like, it was pitch black, bro. It was like from a dash cam, but it was like pitch black. And when he pulled up to them, they all were just there in the middle of the road, like crouched down. And then they just all cleared out once he like showed up. I feel like that could also be like the Men in Black being, I guess, created.
Hmm. I think one time I remember someone come knocking at my door, and next thing I saw was a bright flash, and I just forgot what happened.
Technically, you wouldn't have remembered that, bro.
Oh,
Well, I just remembered the flash. That was it.
the Flash?
He
Like
ran by
Not-
you?
Barry Allen? No.
Very this man. But yeah, dude,
but
I
I've heard stories about that. Like, that even like there's YouTube on video of of Men in Black who even like shapeshift. It's like a really popular video that
oh yeah, like their face, right?
yeah, like the whole face and her head structure just shapeshifts.
Yeah.
And it's caught on video, so who knows if it's
Legit or
been
not.
messed with. Yeah, but
You think
I
that could
mean,
link with like lizard people or not? Because I know, like, have you guys seen those conspiracy theories about like lizard people who shapeshift, like
mhm.
in like plain day, and then like people like say it's Justin Bieber, and they're like look at Justin Bieber's eyes, and then it's like some like reptilian type of eye where it like closes. You know
Yeah,
how they
like
have two type of eyelids?
yeah,
Yeah.
I seen a
Yes.
video like that. I forgot whose. It's like, oh yeah, look at so and so's eyes. And I was like, that's so weird.
There was one with the president too, who there was like a security guard, like the side of his face changes to like something very fucking
Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. It
yeah,
was that
huh?
one. Yeah, it was that one.
Where he fucking his head starts turning into like reptilian type, like he looks
It just
fucking,
shifts, huh?
yeah, angry, or like you gonna fucking kill somebody and shit. Yeah, dude, I've seen some stuff like that, like for reptilian. There's like a whole
Hmm.
big conspiracy. Weren't they called like sewer people?
Yeah. It's weird, bro. It's weird. What's going on?
Yeah, but the last point I want to bring up is about like alien abductions, and it's a case where this man named Frederick Valentich, he was a pilot like in Australia, and he was traveling in Australia, and his destination was only like an hour away. And when he was traveling, he like radioed like air traffic control, and like he asked him like, "Hey, is there another aircraft in the area? Because there's like one on top of him." Like it was like he's like when he was saying it, he's like, "There's something on top of me, but it's not an aircraft." He kept saying it's not an aircraft. I forgot what year is it. I'm gonna look back into it right now, but he was saying that there's an aircraft just hovering above him, like kind of just playing games with him, like just hovering around him. Like if it was stationed on top of him, because he said that when he was like in the air, you know how like it like has like some type of turbulence to it.
Yeah.
Like it's not just still. It said that the aircraft that was going over him, like it was like at a constant speed. It wasn't slowing or going. It was just at a constant speed with him. And he said he just described it as a metallic and shiny with like green lights. And then it vanished while he was like on the radio. And then afterwards, like his last message like was like he radioed one more time, and he was like, "Hey," he was like, Melbourne. He was like, "The strange aircraft is hovering over me again, and it's not an aircraft." And then he said the aircraft person said that there was 17 seconds of silence, and then a scraping of metal sound, and like he was never seen again.
Damn.
So that he got abducted, and this is one of the cases where he gets abducted and never returns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy, huh? Like that type of stuff is crazy because you can't really
It's
do
just
much.
so much stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like their playground, bro, because they have so much power like over us. Because I
Mhm.
feel like,
They just have advanced technology, bro.
yeah, like they have like
They got powers. We just
yeah.
got average people shit.
they got ego powers.
Horse.
Every time we say ego powers, just put that picture of Bobby, bro.
Just ego powers.
Ego powers. Just picture it.
They probably
Naturally,
hate
bro.
orphans. Nah.
Hey yo.
Damn.
Hey yo. But yeah, I did hopefully I got in depth into my topics.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Okay, perfect. Because I was
It's
feeling
just
a bit.
we just couldn't find answers to it, so we just
Yeah, they're
kind of.
mysteries, But yeah, dude, I find them pretty interesting. This is just like a bit of it. There's like so much more we can talk about eventually if we ever want to dive deep into the segment, or if we get more serious into research and our, presentation skills. Hopefully we can present other stuff as well. But let me hand it over to Darwin, so you can continue with this topic.
All right, so mine is basically like a murder case. It's been talked about a lot, but I mean, I just want to, give my
2 cents.
2 cents.
Your 50 cent. Hey,
my 50 cent.
See,
your 50
25
cent.
cents.
It was basically about the death of Natalie Wood. I don't know if you guys know who that is.
Nah, bro. Let us know. Let them know who that is.
All right,
Who that is, baby.
Well, she was an actress, like around maybe like the 1940s through. She died in like 1981, I think. Yeah, 1981. So she was like very famous around those times, like basically those 40 years. Have you guys ever seen the movie like Miracle on 34th Street or what's the other one? West Side Story? They're like old movies, like very old movies. No? Well, me either.
No, bro.
Me either, but
So yeah, not me either. Yeah.
I've never seen those movies. I know the Miracle on 34th Street is like about Christmas.
It says 1947 American Christmas comedy drama film.
Yeah.
Huh?
But she was 8 around that time, so that was like 19. What did you say? 1940 what?
1947. Yeah, she's
yeah,
a baby.
So she was 8 when that was first filmed, basically.
Mhm.
But okay, so November 28th, 1981, she and her husband, his name was Robert Wagner. I don't know if I think he's still alive. And along with Christopher Walken. You guys know who Christopher Walken is?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And their other friend, who was also the captain of like the yacht that they were on.
Mhm.
So basically they went to the Catalina Islands to hang out. And I mean, they drank a lot, right?
Yeah.
So this is where like it gets like a little like a little, I guess you could say, iffy, because some of them have like different stories about it, because she died, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, after they drink like a shitload of bottles, I think I read that they drank like 2 bottles of wine, 2 bottles of champagne, and like other things. They start to get a little like alterados, I guess. Like,
Tipsy.
yeah.
Little crump.
So then after that, her
Little
husband
crunk.
Wagner,
Crunk.
Little
he started to get like a bit jealous of like Natalie and Christopher because they were
Sheesh.
getting like a bit flirty, right?
Yeah.
So the captain testifies that this is true too, right? So that's like a witness that's like seen this.
Key person.
Yeah. So, but then I'm gonna tell you guys this right now. Like, he's a very kind of like unreliable source because he tries to lie a lot, like during his little things. Yeah. So, anyways, so it's like pretty clear that Wagner's pretty jealous, and somehow he and his wife end up like arguing, right? In like a different room that everybody could hear, and the captain tells Christopher like, "Oh, you should like step in to like say something," and he makes like a comment saying like, "Oh, you never get into like a married man and a woman's like argument, right?" So then after that, the captain, I think his name is Dennis Danvers, is like really good friends with Natalie, so he takes her away like from the yacht, and they go to like shore, right?
Yeah.
And they stay basically at the hotel that's there. They drink wine together, but they just fall asleep. That's what he says. But this is where it gets a little crazy because like after like basically her death and stuff, he tries to say like that they were on the boat the whole time, but the police already know that they weren't on the boat that one night. So then that's when like the things get a little weird right there, because that's when he starts becoming kind of like unreliable.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically the assumption of Natalie having an affair with Christopher Walken is kind of out there already, because that night and sometime, hold on, my bad. Okay, oh sorry. Then later on that day, that morning, they go back to the yacht, right? They go back to the yacht, and then they're just chilling, basically still drinking, because they're drinking the whole weekend that they're there.
Yeah.
So her and her husband start to argue about something. It's not really sure what they're arguing about. Okay, so the assumption of basically Natalie having an affair with Walken was out there that night, and sometime it seemed that she went to go basically she went to sleep, right? Yeah. But before she went to sleep was because how I said, they were already drinking and stuff, and Wagner and Walken said, well, Wagner actually says that they were having like a little political debate, so that's what they were arguing, and then that's when Natalie decided to go to her room. So about a half an hour after, like, she went to the room, he went to go give her a kiss, like goodnight, but she wasn't there anymore. And at that moment, it was like 11:05, right? Basically the night or the moment where she died.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So apparently around that time, there was like another party at a yacht, right? At another yacht that was there. And some people heard screaming, like, and supposedly they heard like a voice saying like, "Help me, someone please." And after that, they heard like a mocking tone, like from a male, saying like, "Okay, honey, we'll get you."
Yeah.
So you see how there's kind of like, it's a little like kind of sus right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then around 1:30 a.m., a call was made from the ship to the shore, but it took until like 3:30 a.m. for the Coast Guard to actually get like an official call from it. So here's where like the weird part starts to get, like, it starts to get a little bit weird. So at 8 a.m, her body was found like about a mile away from their yacht. And I think it was like 200 yards or 200 feet away from the island. So her body was like floating face down, ass up in the water.
Damn.
Hey.
Damn.
Oh my God.
So out of pocket. He was so confident in too, bro.
Face down, ass up. That's what fuck man.
Hey, thank you for bringing that laughter, bro. That was funny as hell.
But she had basically bruises on her body and a cut on her cheek, which were like kind of unexplainable because there's different like theories, right?
Yeah.
But she drowned. That's the thing. They marked it as she drowned. So during the investigation, there were like odd things with the boat. Is called a dinghy. Is the little boat?
Yeah.
Dinghy. Hey.
Yeah.
Dinghy.
Yeah. Like for example, the dinghy was like the gears were locked, right? They were neutral. They were neutral, and the car wasn't in motion. And they also noticed that the boat looked like it was going to be used, but the ignition was off. You get me? So why would she like turn it off or something? So to this day, like the case still remains kind of like unsolved because nothing adds up, even after like they interviewed her husband, Christopher, and the captain, and none of their stories really line up. Like, so you get me? Like they don't add up. So they're trying to figure it. So
Just
this
a lot of
case
holes, right?
yeah,
Just a lot
there's
of
a lot of
holes
holes.
and like
So there's like a couple
contradictions.
Holes.
Yeah. So there's a lot of theories that people try to like say because one, it could just be that she like fell accidentally into the water as she was drunk, right? Because her alcohol level when they like found her body, her alcohol level was like at 0.14.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. Or the other one is that her husband lost his temper and like basically killed her.
He could have just pushed her off too.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things that could have happened. He could have pushed her off.
I mean,
He
she
could have
already
been
had
like,
bruises and like a cut on the cheek too. I mean,
yeah.
you know,
So
homie
this is-
could have probably had too much
So
to
here's
drink
one of
and
the
fucking
other
acted.
here's one of the other theories. Basically, they got into an argument and like the how do I say this? They got into an argument and the captain was like upstairs, like by where they drive the boat. Let me drive the boat. But like around there, right? And he heard the boat basically getting untied, and then he just heard silence after that. So then when Wagner, his name is Wagner, he went upstairs to him. He was like all sweaty,
yeah.
right?
Oh
So,
wow, it's pretty
yeah,
sus.
and he didn't want the lights on, like the fog lights in the water or the engine on because he didn't want to wake like none of the neighbors up.
That's weird as fuck.
Yeah. So there's like little to no evidence that lead to like basically the police arresting Wagner. But then there's also little things like that like are a little weird because with Natalie, like it was like known that she was like afraid of water.
Yeah.
Like she had a phobia against water. Like her
Shit.
mom, I guess, had taken her to like one of those fortune tellers,
Yeah.
saying that she was gonna die like in a
Wow, that's
like
fucking
drowning. So then there's also like another part where she was in another movie where like there's like a fake bridge. It basically collapses on her and she falls in the water and she like breaks her wrist.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's like kind of hard to like really think like, would she really go into the water like by herself, knowing that she's like afraid of water? You get me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unlucky.
So that's like one of the things. So like, why would she go by? The thing is also she was only wearing like a puffer coat, like one of those gowns, and like socks when she was like found.
Shit.
So her sister has said like, I know my sister wouldn't go out like that, like on a boat by herself. And then also there's also like her sister. So there's another part that also is like a little weird with her sister too. So she thinks that basically she believes that basically her husband didn't kill Natalie, but she also has like her doubts because like people act different when they're like hella drunk.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's pretty crazy because like before, I think they closed the case after that, and then in 2012 they actually changed the probable cause of death from accidental like drowning to sorry, no, I think it was drowning, and then they changed it to accidental drowning and undetermined factors.
Wow.
Since they still question like the bruising and all that.
That sounds like lazy, boy. They should just kept looking into it.
Yeah, so actually to like this day, like they haven't even solved that like little murder right there. Well, not little, it's a big murder, but
It's just kind of harder to determine something like that. If you guys didn't know, I do study in forensics. For those who are listening in the podcast, it's what my career choices that I want to choose and go through. But it's kind of harder because, especially since everything was in the water, there's not a lot of evidence to work with that because there's a
Oh,
lot of like washed up things, like the bruises and the markings and stuff like that. You can tell, like, oh yeah, this lady, she was like definitely grasped from the arm like very hard, that you can see that it bruised. There's like like a minor fracture on the bone and stuff like that. And like the cut on the cheek, you can always tell like the type of laceration. And it's usually like, oh, it was like a little scrape. It was like a blade. You can tell like the different things, but since she was in the water, it was kind of hard to detect things like that because any fingerprints might have washed off. The bruisings were probably like the best identifier, but for her drowning and stuff like that, they couldn't really tell much either because there was probably already trauma towards her injuries that had a lot of factors. And to finish it off, she probably did drown. But since she was already injured, who knows, you know?
yeah,
So
because
that
also on the side of the boat they had like if she would have fallen in, the boat had like supposedly it had scratch marks on it, like if she was trying to get back on it or something, like if
yeah.
she slipped off or something.
oh shit.
Hey, who knows? She probably actually did drown, but like it's the it's like what caused it to happen for her to drown, you know?
Yeah,
I guess we'll never know, you know? So that's the
let's
crazy part about that
solve
stuff.
it, bro.
Yeah, bro, I got
Solve
you.
it.
Give me
Solve
like
that
2 more
shit.
years, bro.
Demon Hours podcast solved. Solved.
Solve
Solve.
mysteries.
Hey,
Solve
talking about the
mysteries.
mystery though and solving. What's up with the what you just sent though?
So I was looking on Instagram right now. What a coincidence, speaking about like
Yeah, that's
unsolved
so
mysteries and
What
stuff.
a thing.
So apparently over here, I'm just not gonna say, I'd rather not say the
yeah,
area.
yeah,
You guys
just
already know, but
They
in the
gonna they
area.
gonna that serial whatever it is, bro. It's gonna find you. Nah, I'm
the
Yeah,
just
that's
kidding.
cereal.
Don't do that,
there's
bro.
a serial
Don't do
killer in
that
my
to him.
area apparently.
Oh shit.
It's a few hours away from me. It's like an hour away. So I mean, they said it's like up and down the coast, but um I didn't believe it at first until I actually clicked the little Instagram post that they had made for the Times paper over here.
Yeah.
They said there's a serial killer going around, and they feel like everything that was going on has been correlated and connected. So that's very crazy to me that we were just talking about that. I'm over here scrolling, I see this. So that's crazy. But they said that this person's like aiming for like people at night.
The thing
People.
is that area is very like ghetto too, like the hood, like that
So, so
that
that
area.
area, yes.
It's like the hood basically too, because
And out here, it's very where there's a lot of sex trafficking since it's in the middle of nowhere. So
mhm.
sex trafficking is a very active around here. So
Oh,
that's
that
why they tell
sucks,
you to
bro.
go
Wow.
out night a lot. But with this whole thing, that's like just crazy to me because they're like, yeah, like this is like we're literally just talking about like mysteries and shit like that. And
Killers and
look
like
what just
especially with
fucking
this whole
pops up.
Jeffrey Dahmer fucking
Yeah,
series
bro,
too
who
Oh
on
yeah,
knows?
that
Netflix.
shit popping right now, bro.
Trending, bro.
Everybody's
Like all
on
the
that.
memes is out.
Yeah, bro, that's crazy.
Everybody's on that
All the memes is
topic
on
right now,
everything.
bro.
Jeffrey
No,
Dahmer is.
I haven't seen no
The
memes.
stank era, bro.
You haven't
Bro,
seen
go
the
to
memes? I've seen the
Twitter,
parts.
bro.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen no memes.
I seen the one that
Yeah,
I
Marco
actually sent
the
bro.
one.
yeah,
Yeah, I
he's
Been
like
sent
when
under
you
a
one
open
box,
his
earlier.
bro.
fridge, bro.
Oh yeah.
You under a box, bro.
He's
They're
like,
everywhere.
is that
No, you're right.
somebody's
Never mind.
butt
I have.
cheeks?
I seen like the one that was like stop giving this man kids or some shit.
Oh
From
yeah, for that
Bro,
man. Yeah.
there's so many sus things about it. Like, I know times were different back then, but like a lot of people were lured very easily.
It's
And
so fucked up
nowadays
though, bro,
it
that
won't.
he got away with it just by saying, "Oh, we're doing, gay things," and then
Yeah,
since it was
like
so
cops
frowned
didn't care
upon,
that
they were like,
much.
"Oh, okay, keep that gay shit over there,"
You,
you
you know
know?
what?
Yeah,
You want to know
cops
what?
didn't care, bro.
You want to know what grinds my gears, bro?
What
Let
do
me
you
What?
tell
mean?
you.
What? Peter Griffin?
what taps your khakis?
What? Robbie Griffin?
So when
Robbie Griffin.
girls watch not, it's mostly the majority of girls who be watching like the serial killer documentaries and true crimes and stuff like that,
They
Mm.
fall in love,
and
bro.
they fall in love with like the
Yeah, I
person, bro,
know.
and they're like, oh my god, he's so hot. Like for example, Zodiac killer, homie would like target like women, and like, oh my god, he's so hot. Like
He could kill me.
don't you know what this
Or
guy?
like Ted Bundy.
Yeah, bro. They're just like,
Bro,
oh my
that's I
god,
don't know
he's
why
so
it's a very
hot. Like,
common thing though, that like sexualizing serial killers. I don't know why, but it is a very
Just a
common
weird
thing.
fetish nowadays.
Yeah, I guess it's like weird fetish, but Jeffrey
or like
Dahmer, that man was
the fetish of like having
Dangerous.
Halloween
the thing that's
characters.
scary is that Netflix, the way they like portrayed him, you feel sorry for him, bro. Like you're just like, damn, this man,
I
his
don't.
fucking parents, like his mom just abandoned him, and his fucking dad is like just straight screaming and consequences every fucking day. Doesn't give him the time of the day and shit like that.
He should have moved out. No, I'm playing.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of
Yeah,
shit.
bro.
Like it's just like you feel glad that he got caught, but you're also like, damn, like
I mean, it happens.
yeah.
It
But the
doesn't
thing is,
mean
like,
it
we're not
doesn't mean
shaped.
it turned out
Yeah,
like that, bro.
yeah. That's the thing that always like I'd be like, well, we didn't turn this way. Like, there's certain people
Yeah.
that get treated even worse, and they're like the same to still help out people when they need a hand and shit like that.
Like I remember you used to tell me you used to get beat down a lot, but I see you as a nice person.
Fuck
Yeah.
you.
We see you strong now, bro.
Yes,
Strong and
sir.
independent.
You see me, city
It's,
boy.
it's just
City
crazy because
boy.
it's like
City boy
like
out
you were
10.
talking about Jeffrey Dahmer, they portray it as like, oh, I feel sorry for the person. Like they're just portraying their life and stuff like that. Like they're trying to see, like they're trying to give the story of like how they became who they were and stuff like that, which is crazy to me, because it's like, yeah, you do feel sorry for these people, but these people have done some like terrible shit,
Some
like
grimy shit, bro. And
fucking Charles Manson, bro.
the thing is like in the
I mean, crazy.
series, like this man, city boy. No, I'm playing. The thing is like in the series, like it just I feel like they don't depict his like nasty side like that. Like it shows like when he does stuff like the killing and shit like that, it shows like a quick 1 minute like of him strangling or him beating someone up, but they need to show the real horror
Well,
of
you,
that
you said you said it was like a series, right? Like
yeah,
that's probably why, because it's not like a documentary. If it was like a documentary, they would probably have like
more
actors doing
proof,
it.
shit
Yeah.
like that.
Not that it's because they're portraying the story the way it's told, but it's a Netflix, right? It's a Netflix series.
Yeah, but they're making it seem they're giving him like too much um like they're trying to have you empathize with him.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they fell because
And this
I didn't.
you're like, thank God he died.
Hey
yeah.
man,
Honestly, it's crazy.
he deserves many hells for what he did, dude. Like
Yeah,
Wait,
and the thing
who?
is like he accepted it too. He accepted like his like did you guys see where he was saying he's just glad it's over now? Like that they finally
mm,
caught him.
yeah, that's why he got sloppy towards the end.
Yeah.
I remember reading that. Like,
Thank God
quote
for
of,
him
like,
though, that man that saved him. Well,
hmm
that man that saved everyone else. Like, what was his name actually? Let me look it up.
Tracy something.
Yeah, Tracy. That man Tracy, bro. Fucking hero. Did you guys hear that he recently got arrested too?
No.
He recently got arrested for killing a homeless man because he became homeless himself. And I guess he got into a fight and he killed another homeless man. But thing is, like, think about it, like the trauma he's went through if someone tries to try him or like try to like square up with him or something. Like he already went through the experience with Jeffrey Dahmer, so it's like PTSD and shit. So his instincts like, nah, bro, not again.
They actually I saw on TikTok today, Alcatraz, what is it called? Alcatraz Museum or something like
Hmm.
that. They have a TikTok account. It's pretty interesting. They have like artifacts and stuff like that. They actually received the glasses of Jeffrey Dahmer today. I
No
think it was
way.
today. Yeah. So the
Damn.
glasses that he actually wore, they have it. But honestly, like, how do you get like stuff like that? Like, oh, here's the glasses of this guy, bro. Like, this is the exact glasses this guy wore. Oh my gosh, it's his glasses, you know? Hey, but
Wow.
that's interesting.
Going back to like the serial killer stuff, like I remember like reading also that like supposedly they have like really bad like psychological problems. You get me? But
Yeah.
like so bad that they're like something is actually like wrong with their brain because there's actually like MRI scans of like regular people like non-serial killer people and then serial killers, right? That there's actually like a difference in the MRI, like they're missing something in their brain or like they have too much of something
I think it's
So
too
that
much of something that they are able
yeah.
to carry themselves as or like blend in. What is it called? I don't know. I don't know what type of not cognitive.
Oh no, they lack the what is that gland? It's for empathy. Um,
Let me look it up actually before.
Well, since you guys are bringing that up, like I said, I study this stuff, so it's interesting. So, the psychological thing we do take, I took a class on psychological behaviors. So pretty much, when it comes down to that, well, not we, but like they examine the MRIs and stuff like that to see if there's something wrong with the person. Somebody can plead insanity, which at the time, please forgive me for saying this word, but this is how they address it in the books. They consider it mental retardation.
Yo,
I know
no,
a
I'm
lot of people
kidding.
don't like
there
it,
you
Yeah.
go.
but
Canceled.
that's how they pronounce it in the court of law. Now I think they changed it to insanity, pleading insanity. So a lot of people can get away with it depending on if they have like the correct medications, they are actually seeing somebody like to help them and stuff like that. But speaking about that specific, you know how you're like there's something like changed in the mindset and the brain, right?
Mm.
So a good from a non-serial killer perspective, one person I would like to bring up is the wrestler Chris Benoit. I don't know if you guys like
Hey,
watch
yeah.
him. So do you guys
Mhm.
know the story about Chris Benoit or not?
I
Yeah.
do.
So Chris Benoit pretty much said the story goes around that he strangled his he pretty much did his finisher moves on his family. So that sounds funny as fuck,
Chill.
but the
No.
reason behind that is because I watched the video. It's on Vice on YouTube. It's a pretty good documentary. They talk about Eddie Guerrero and all that stuff. And so Chris Benoit, through so many injuries, so many concussions. This goes with like boxers as well. Like any wrestler, any boxer, anybody who has like a physical sport, always getting concussions, stuff like that. It starts altering your brain little by little. So they said that Chris Benoit did this because he was feeling some type of way. But like after all the damage done to his head, all the concussions, all the bleeding, all the like all that stuff that's happened to him, the trauma that was occurred to his brain had made him do that. It was that's what you would call pleading an insanity case because he was like kind of not losing his mind, but like he didn't have control of it. Because it's crazy when you don't when you have so much of it or you don't have so much of something, something's unbalanced in your brain that it causes you to do something that you're not aware that you're doing. So when he did that and he like pretty much killed his family, um, he's the one who called. No, he didn't call. Somebody went to go check on him because he was supposed to go to like some shows during that day.
Yeah, I do remember that. He missed a few.
Yeah, and so they went to go check up on him, and they're like, "Yo, this man's in here, and he pretty much committed suicide." The way he committed suicide was like crazy. He had his own gym, and he pretty much offed himself with one of his equipments. Like he tied his neck to the I don't know. Do you know the machine where you can pull the cords in front of you?
Yeah.
He pretty much tied weights to it and wrapped his neck around it and like offed himself like that. Um, but they said that he was there with his family in the bed for like 3 days
Yeah.
because he like
He
realized what
strangled them, no?
yeah he pretty much he noticed what he did after that. Like it clicked to him once he did it and he stayed with them for like a few days and then like after that he killed himself.
Imagine how fucking shitty and like scary like that is just one like clicking like, oh my God, I killed my family and then just seeing their lifeless
Yeah, bro,
bodies right
and
there
he was going through a lot at the time.
on the bed and shit. It's
He was
fucked.
going through like so much at the time. And around that time this is around the time that Eddie Guerrero passed away too, and that was like his best friend.
Oh yeah, I remember that
So
part too, that he was crying hard.
yeah, bro. So like you can just imagine everything he was going through. But like staying on topic with that, with the mental illness, it's considered a mental illness if you have something like that, which makes sense because there's a chemical imbalance in your brain that causes you to do something,
Mm.
which is pretty amazing because that's the reason why a lot of serial killers are the way they are because there's a chemical imbalance in their brain. So honestly, that's why stuff like this interests me, and that's why I wanted to study it. That's why I want to be a forensics because I think it's interesting to be able to tell what happened based off of like the littlest details, like a
Yeah.
fingerprint, like, oh, it's this guy, because we got records of a fingerprint, or it's like you see this type of cut, or you see this type of hole, gunshot, or a knife, or like homie got stabbed with like a spork or something, like it's crazy. That's why I'm
Yeah,
interested
that's
in this stuff.
just also like you helping out
Yeah, bro,
find
like
the justice and shit.
yeah, bro, but it's like I want to do the physical work of it. I want to be able to like determine that. Like how cool it'd be. Like, damn, bro, I was able to find out that this person killed this person by like throwing a PS5 at his head. Like just something random like that. Like that sounds
Yeah.
interesting to me, and that's why I'm.
Yeah, because
That's
you can
my
determine the
motivation.
weight, right? Like by the size of the wound and shit, right?
Yeah, size of the
you consider the
wound,
weight,
the
the
um
puncture.
yeah, and then like of course like anything that's on the scene, so
Yeah.
we did like mock-up crime scenes during it, like before COVID hit. It was around the time COVID was starting. We have a class called criminal investigations, I believe it was,
Yeah.
and we go to the university police department and they have like little fake scenes cut out, and they make us like take notes, put the little things and stuff like that. Like it was really fun, and then like COVID hit and we weren't able to do the other
Yeah.
ones, but it was pretty fire. So yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, dude, that's pretty dope though. What do you guys think? Uh,
I think
yeah,
that about wraps it up.
yeah, I think that should we said pretty much a good amount of like mystery or even just kind of yeah, just mystery related topics just to get us into the whole. We don't want to just jump from one week to another like straight scary shit.
For the whole
Mhm.
spooky
This is the
season.
start of it. Yeah, this is the spooky.
This is this is a taste of it, bro.
This is a tease.
It's a little tease, bro.
A little tease.
Like when you knock on the door, bro, it's a little tease.
Yeah.
This guy.
Well,
That's-
we'll plunge into it in October.
This man will plunge into
We'll
We'll
plunge
plunge
in.
into it.
Okay.
But
All right, well-
like always, we're on social media, Demon Hours Podcast on Instagram. We're still trying to get our Spotify up and running. We still got to check on that. It does take a while for us to do that. We are on Anchor as well. We of course we have YouTube, and by the time you guys see this, it will be Monday already. So we hope you enjoyed the podcast. Anything else for you boys?
We out.
Hey.
Thank you guys
Eight.
for continuing the
something.
support, and we appreciate it. We appreciate it.
Hopefully, we don't get adopted by the time we drop this episode.
Hopefully the men in black
Or
don't come to our
kidnapped.
door.
Or kidnapped.
Hopefully,
Or
we,
thrown off a boat. No.
hey, hopefully we don't.
Hey,
Ho-
shit.
hopefully we don't become the unsolved mystery. No.
Damn.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Sheesh. Well, that was something.
Yeah, that was for sure a waste of my time.
What did you guys find for me?
Sorry, boss. We couldn't find anything.
Nothing. This is another unsolved mystery.
Don't think about it too much. Many of these cases go cold.